2023 Nissan Frontier. This is the Pro-4X model sitting at the top of the product stack for this mid-size. They get bigger every year, right? But this mid-size pickup truck. A couple weeks back, I drove its #1 rival, the Toyota Tacoma, and I'm going to tell you in this video why I like this pickup truck from Nissan a lot better than Toyota's Tacoma. Let's start under the hood. I botched the original audio recording, but here's the details on the 3.8 liter V6. It has 310 horsepower, 281 pound-feet of torque. I'll put on the screen how that compares to the Toyota Tacoma. We have a 9-speed automatic transmission in here, shift on the fly, 4-wheel drive system. You also have a 2-speed transfer case with a 4 high, 4 low. Of course, is 2 high. It simulates limited slip through the brake system here, through all 4 wheels, and you also have electronic locking rear differential. This 9-speed's really smooth. And if you, in rear wheel drive, if you hold the brake, it will do a rear wheel drive burnout. Now you can do a 4 high on the fly here, and the indicator behind the steering wheel lets me know that I'm in 4-wheel drive here. I'm gonna rev to about 2,000 RPM and go. Oh yeah, the launch was a lot better that time. It launches hard, but it doesn't do a whole lot after that. This thing loves to rev to 7,000 RPM. That was 7.63, so about the same, but it did feel like it launched harder, but since it's sending power to more wheels, you know, maybe the pure acceleration isn't quite as good, as you may have some losses through the transfer case and whatnot. Throw it in the turn here. I love the steering in this truck, and it handles surprisingly well. Let's close the hood. With the redesigned Frontier a couple years back, it is a very handsome pickup truck. I love the looks of the new Frontier. Now the Pro-4X model and the Pro-X, so there's also Pro-X that is 2-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive only, which is very popular here in Florida, reduces the prices, and the weathers are always good. You know, sometimes you need all-wheel drive or 4x4 action for the wet streets, but if you're just towing or using this as a work truck, rear-wheel drive is gonna be just fine. But anyways, back to the styling here. The Pro-4X has upgraded LED headlights. We have a much more aggressive front end here at the bottom with the skid plate, the red hooks as well, and there's a little treat on the inside underneath. We have Bilstein shocks all the way around. This thing rides amazing. We also have upgraded 17-inch wheels, and the stature of this truck from the side, especially this paint color, looks great. Now, one thing I wish they would have upgraded here is the tailpipe. You can see how weak sauce that tailpipe is back there. The Pro-X models have the nice lava orange accents here on the Nissan badge, that glossy black badge, and we also have Frontier across the tailgate here. Reminder again that you're in the Pro-4X model. When we lower this, it does have a nice tailgate assist, nice slow lower. Sprayed in bed liner, feels very, very rugged and premium. You also have rail systems in here, as well as bed lights on each side, LED bed lights, and then you have this household plug-in up to 400 watts back here. Gas cap action here feels pretty cheap, to be honest, but what doesn't feel cheap is this a door slam. And you can see the bed lights turn on when you open the door. That's a pretty cool feature, but yeah, just the solidness, the perfection of this door closing, I could do it over and over. And the front one sounds almost as good. So anyways, going into the back seat here, we can fold these up a little bit. It's folding up both ends, and you have additional storage underneath. And this being the Pro-4X, we have the Fender subwoofer back here. But if you wanted to, you can also fold down the seats, and that's how you would connect your child seats. If you look back here, we also have the jack. Well, let's fold this back up and get in. We have this nice detail, a little honeycomb action going on with the lava red stitching. And let's go ahead and get on the inside. On this model, we have a USB-C, USB-A for charging. Here's your additional household plug-in, which is excellent. I don't have any vents back here, but you know what? The AC in this truck is incredible, and the front vents have no problem cooling down this very small cabin back here. Headroom, I actually have a good amount of headroom and legroom. Surprisingly, this seat is set up for me at 6'1". And while maybe hard touch here, we have a nice soft touch that lines the inside of the door and a very comfortable armrest back here. Mat pocket only for the passenger seat here, and a pretty flat floor back here as well. Blind spot monitor here on the edge of the mirror works great. Getting into the driver's seat, pretty basic motor control here. Over there, it's going to be manual control. Almost like a little carbon fiber weave on the outside of the seat here, and then we have that Pro-4X ornamentation in the middle of the seat with that honeycomb as well. So let's go ahead and get on the inside. Same treatment to the front door, except we have this orange accent that we didn't have in the back. And then we also have that Fender audio system badge here up at the front. We have Android Auto. It is wired, but for 2023, they have given you wireless Apple CarPlay if you're an Apple person. I like the stitching on the soft dash here, but the functionality in here is what just makes me so happy. Like, everything is exactly where I want it. I have a volume tuning knob. I can rest my hand on the shifter, and even though the shifter looks pretty nerdy, taken from like a Sentra, for example, it's always in the right spot. Climate control knobs are super easy to use. Like, everything, functionality in here is an A+, 10 out of 10. Heated steering wheel works great, and it's too hot here in Florida to mess with the heated seats. Here's your 4-wheel drive control. The MID behind the steering wheel is very functional. I typically just leave it on either miles per gallon or right here with the digital speedometer. Now, some people really complain about the tilting only steering wheel. To me, honestly, it doesn't bother me at all. And it locks into preset settings, which is fine with me because it makes the steering wheel feel super solid in here. Just killed that mosquito. It is about summertime here in Florida, but we have that beautiful orange accent here on the Nissan logo, as well as the stitching around the steering wheel. Throwing it into reverse to show off the low quality 360 camera. It's about the same grade as the Tacoma that we had a couple weeks ago. It doesn't really bother me because it is functional. It's not pretty, but it gets the job done. So let's go ahead and put it in drive here, and oh my gosh, the steering is the first thing you notice when you start driving this truck. I adore how the steering feels in here. It feels super old school. I don't know if I haven't even looked up if it's hydraulic still, but it just has this amazing weight to the steering wheel, almost sports car-like. It's extremely accurate and very satisfying. Like, I feel like I'm in a heavy duty, solid tank-like truck just from the steering wheel alone. And like I mentioned, some of you guys complain that it doesn't have a telescopic steering wheel, but I haven't had any issues with the steering wheel placement. And the Tacoma has a telescopic steering wheel, but it like telescopes like an inch. It's pretty much worthless. Rolling onto the gas just a little bit, not even pedal down. And it builds power very linearly. It really starts coming alive around 4,000 RPM. And I haven't had one hiccup with this 9-speed auto. And this 9-speed overall has done exactly what I've asked it to when I've wanted to. So just pedal down just a little bit. And it's smooth, and it just takes right off. And that's something with the Tacoma. It was never smooth. Even the V6, when you push that V6, it felt like it was dying. It was very harsh sounding. And that's not the nature of that V6, because I've tested that V6 in countless other Toyota and Lexus, and it's buttery smooth. It's just something with its application in the Tacoma that feels very, very unrefined. Everything in this truck feels like it's been refined to the max. There are some things in here that maybe aren't like luxury quality. Like this seat sometimes makes a rattle, but I leaned it back just to one setting back, and it doesn't rattle nearly as much anymore. When you push the sound system, especially the bass at all in here, you do hear the panels rattle just a little bit. But 99% of the time, it's super smooth, very quiet, no creaks or rattles going on. And it feels like it's built like a tank. And like, honestly, the feeling that this truck gives me is like Lexus GX sort of refinement. And the V6 sounds good. It's just, everything in here makes me happy. And I actually prefer drive, this might sound crazy. This week I also have a Mazda CX-90, but if I'm not taking the kids with me, I actually prefer to drive the truck. I feel like the ergonomics are just perfect in here. The steering is fantastic, at least the steering feel, and it's really good in the Mazda CX-90 for a 3-row crossover. But there's something about this truck that just, I don't have to think or go out of my comfort zone. Everything is here at my fingertips. I'm very comfortable in here. I feel like I sit a little bit lower than the Tacoma as well. Or the Tacoma, I felt like my head was gonna bust out of the ceiling in that. So like overall, I'm a happy camper in here. I feel like this truck, and I haven't tested a lot of mid-size trucks, but I don't know what else I could be looking for in a mid-size truck that this Frontier doesn't offer. I mean, heck, I even have a heated steering wheel that works really well. Maybe vents in the back, but my daughters had no complaints in the 90+ degree heat here with the fan speeds on low. They had no complaints with the heat in this car because the AC is just so good. And the brake pedal in here, fantastic as well. It feels just as meaty and substantial as the steering feel does. And it's just so easy to bring this truck to a buttery smooth stop. And I can't even do that in the Mazda CX-90. And I'm comparing that, I know it's completely different vehicles, but that's also what I've been driving this week with this truck. Just super smooth, great power. What I haven't talked about with the smoothness is this ride quality in here. The Tacoma had excellent ride quality as well. This seems to be on another level. I'm not quite sure if it's the Bilstein shocks in here, but the ride quality in here is A+ luxury level. The sound dampening from the road is really good, and maybe it's because of the big meaty tires on here. And I don't hear that much from the Porsches and the Audi A3s passing me either. Now, I guess it's showing its age when it comes to just basic safety technology. It doesn't have like lane keep assist, but it does have radar cruise control, which that's all that I really need. And for 2023, Nissan has given this a midnight edition, which from the looks of it looks amazing with all the black accents, and that comes at a much lower price point than the PRO-X model. So that might be a great option for you guys out there looking for a really well-rounded pickup truck with some cool looks to it. Now we have a new Toyota Tacoma coming out, and it's supposed to ditch the V6, which I'm not that sad about because I wasn't happy with the V6 and the 6-speed automatic implementation that we have on the current gen. I know some of you guys would be like, well, but it's reliable. Absolutely. I know reliability is the most important thing probably for most people looking at a pickup truck, but I have no doubts about the reliability of this pickup truck. And then we get into the new Tacoma ditching the V6, adding electrification. Yes, it's going to be more peppy, powerful, and probably more fuel efficient. But there's just something about this old school mentality that literally this feels like I mentioned before, like a Lexus GX in terms of build quality, tightness, smoothness as well. And I know there's also the Chevy Colorado and the GMC Canyon as well. I haven't tested those pickup trucks, so I can't say how good or not good that they are. But this does everything. I honestly, other than maybe like, yes, it would be great to have 30 miles per gallon, but honestly, I'm so happy with this pickup truck. It does everything for me. Nothing in here annoys me, other than maybe this chair rattling, but when you lean it back, that goes away. I'm just a happy camper in here. I don't know what else to say. If you guys have any questions about the Nissan Frontier, let me know. I love this truck, and honestly, I would buy it without, I mean, yes, I like the manual and the outgoing Tacoma, but I'm almost sure that's going to be going away. But this is a better truck, and at least in my preference and my testing, than the Toyota Tacoma. But I'll see you guys down below. That might ruffle a little feathers out there. I know there's a lot of loyal Tacoma owners. It's not a bad truck. This is just a better truck. All right, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button, subscribe for more, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.